But this is a fairly high-level overview of what ERP is all about. So instead of having me talk more about it, I think it's a better idea to actually hand over the floor to one of our strategic partners in the manufacturing space, who will take you a level deeper and actually show you some of the things that I talked about today. So with that, Debbie, over to you.
Thanks, Henrik. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking the time today out of your busy schedule to attend our session on Manufacturing with Confidence. My name is Debbie Brules, and I'm the President of Bredet Services. Today's agenda, we're going to talk a little bit about Bredet. We're going to talk about challenges that face manufacturers today and dig a little deeper into Microsoft Dynamics AX. We have a great team here at Bredet. They're all very knowledgeable, fully certified on all the products we sell and support. They're also very involved in extracurricular activities, continuing education, and we do a lot of community work. Bredet has grown because of our focus on integrity and collaboration. The culture at Bredet is very much about customer service. We're very passionate about it, and we believe that if our customers succeed, we succeed. In the technology industry, it is critical for companies like ours to always be on top of the latest trends. This can be from mobility, CRM, other integrated solution vendors, when there's an additional requirement and it's not out of the box. And even social media, even though some of us still wonder what that's all about. Everything we do at Bredet has a process, from the initial requirements gathering through the implementation and with our continued ongoing support. We've developed a bulletproof process so that every implementation, whether it's big or small, is on time and on budget. I'll never forget one of the comments I got from a customer on how they felt about how involved we were in understanding and delivering their business goals. It's not just about the software, it's about how to solve the problem, how to reach a desirable outcome, and how you measure that success. This is the kind of benefit we embed in our process to make us different as a service organization. Most software implementations today fail because they take longer than expected, and the total implementation costs often exceed the set budget. And this is where Bredet also offers value. Our services are typically 75-cent software service, whereas the average is at least 1-to-1 and can oftentimes be higher. With over 2 decades of experience with your industry, we know that volatility is the new norm. The challenges today in manufacturing are your competition, the need to change instantaneously, be innovative, have access to reliable information, and globalization. Microsoft Dynamics AX is a true ERP solution, just as Henrik mentioned. There's no more silos of information. Everyone across the organization will have access to the same data. Some of the next few slides will show you how AX really shines in manufacturing. We'll discuss and review business intelligence, role centers, and what they are and the benefits, and include how to streamline and enhance productivity across the organization. Now, I'm going to pass the baton over to Jennifer, who is one of our senior consultants. Jennifer?
Thank you, Debbie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking the time today to sit with us on this session. I'm going to focus the next part of the presentation on what truly makes AX stand out to our customers from other products that they've reviewed. Business intelligence, or BI, is made up of several related activities: data mining, online analytical processing, querying, and reporting. Companies use BI to improve decision-making, cut costs, and identify new business opportunities, but it is to help figure out what really needs to be changed. One of our current customers had no IT department, so they always relied on us as their business partner to do report writing for them. And as you know, that can end up costing a lot of extra money and a lot of extra time. Their key requirement was the ease of use and the ability to get the information themselves without becoming a programmer themselves. So let's see how this is done. Starting with our trusty Excel program, which we are all familiar with, we are looking at getting the data into a readable format. So with only 3 clicks from Excel's Data tab, you're able to choose one of the out-of-the-box features in the data cubes. This all gets done with using SQL Server. You can utilize the out-of-the-box cubes, tables, or even create your own. We've chosen to use the Accounts Payable cube for today's presentation, but as you can see, there are a lot of other numbered out-of-the-box cubes that you can choose from. This information that's sitting in Accounts Payable over here on the right-hand side is the Accounts Payable data cube. You can see that you can do comparisons by year, adding information with columns, values, filters, and actual data. The information is exported into a pivot table for further analysis. The benefit here is that the pivot table is already created for you, so there's no need to start from scratch. Cube functionality provides the ability to receive multi-dimensional reporting. So the beauty of this type of reporting is that you can actually analyze trends over different periods of time. So to really just give you a visual on how that happens, the 2-dimensional reporting would look like this, very, very basic. With AX, you get the multi-dimensional. So not only are we looking at just 2 dimensions, we're looking at a 3rd dimension here, which produces a cube. So let's do some role playing now. So imagine that you're the VP of Sales and you wanted to review your year-over-year sales and margin performance. From this information, you suddenly realize that there's margin issues. So in this view, we can see a pivot table with Excel, and we can see our sales and our cost of goods sold by customer group over 2008 and 2009. Now let's look at another set of metrics, this time by item group, and see what the margins have changed significantly. Note the highlighted items. Let's take a further look into this item group, speakers. We've now drilled further into speakers item group and found that these items, 1101 and 1109, have issues. So now we want to see which customer groups purchase which items to understand really where the problem is. Here are our customer groups. We can see that intercompany, internet, and major have significant decreases in percentages. You can now drill into this information to find what these issues are. It can be anywhere from production, operations, sales, etc. So the important thing here is that you can identify these areas if they need further review. So now let's take you into a different role in the organization. You're now the VP of Operations. You've heard that there's a customer service issue that there's an unusual increase in complaints with televisions. You can see from the screen that televisions category under item number 1005 that 800 units were purchased and 80 units were returned, so therefore you had a 10% return. But why? What we need to do is put in a return policy so we understand why they're coming back. So after further investigation in your company, you've determined that you have a quality issue. An out-of-the-box feature in AX is that you can implement a quality inspection policy and decide what your process is going to be. You can set a standard tolerance limit, pass or fail rates, and even reason codes. And to make sure that nothing gets missed, we can set up a rule to alert whenever an item has failed. This can be sent in an email, it can be an on-screen alert, and it can even display in your Role Center's home screen. So now let's look at the other feature that we are discussing, Role Centers. Role Centers are designed to view business data at a glance. They're able to boost productivity, help you manage and prioritize tasks, speed up training for new employees, and also increase the user experience by just simply personalizing their role center to be what they need to do. So here's an example of a role center. We're looking at Charlie's role, and Charlie is our CEO. He has personalized his home screen to display what's important to him on a day-to-day basis. So obviously, finance, revenue, and cash flow are important to Charlie, but also what's important to Charlie is being able to find reports that he runs on an everyday basis. Therefore, he doesn't have to go within the system to find this issue. We also can display his outstanding tasks. So to ensure that no work is getting missed at the same time. Here's another view, this time for the purchaser. There are stacks of paper, as you can see on the right-hand side, much like you may have on your own desk. So what needs to be done can be displayed in the home screen of your role center. AX is also about flexibility. So based upon security, a user can customize or configure any screen to add fields, hide fields, and change field names. Therefore, no more customization. Here we have chosen an item number on the screen. When we go to the next slide, you'll see how we can change its view. By simply right-clicking, you can hide fields, add fields, move information up or down, change field names to use terminology that you're accustomed to in your organization. You can save these settings under your own name so that every time you log in to the screen, no matter what machine you're using, the settings will be saved. For example, we have a customer that has categorized item types by brands, so we changed their item type to brand to make it easier for them. AX also offers direct integration to Excel from the forms. In most softwares, you can export data to Excel, but then, as most of you may know, it is very time-consuming when you try to format that data to be readable. But with AX, it will export exactly the way you see it on screen here. Do you notice how all the field headings and columns are identical? This is definitely a feature that the customer loves because of how much time and frustration it really saves.
It's hard to judge how much time sessions will take because you're speaking at different levels, a little bit of nervousness, etc. So we'll be able to get you off the phone earlier today, I'm sure. Before we move on to the Q&A, though, I wanted to thank everyone again for joining us today. I hope the session was informative. And if you can take away anything from the session, remember, ERP is not just about data sharing. Just as Henrik said earlier, Jason Myers, who's the president and CEO of CME, recently quoted the following: "Innovation is investment in R&D, new technology, and employee training." This is how we'll keep manufacturers here in Canada, which is an important goal to all of us. Manufacturers that are still in Canada today are unique. You've learned to change, and you've learned to grow. Bredet has prepared a research paper with Microsoft that discusses productivity, and we've entitled it "The Crystal Ball for the Health of Your Organization." It reviews the ERP process, why solutions fail, and how to measure against the goal of productivity. I'd really encourage you to get a copy. My contact information is on the screen there, both phone number and email. So if you want to jot that down, give me a call or send me an email. We'd be happy to send a copy of the document out to you. And also, as a fellow CME member, Bredet does offer incentives to other CME members.